It began in 2018 with a cryptic post on the for sale section of the New Orleans Craigslist. Nestled among countless appliances was a picture of a boy.
Each teenage monarch poses every crossroad.
The description of the listing included a phone number and the hashtag PrayForDave. The listing was shared to Reddit, but it received relatively little engagement and faded into obscurity. However, in 2020, the PrayForDave mystery re-emerged and spread like a shadow across the internet. The return brought coded messages, masked men, fabricated murders, corporate conspiracy, and more, all architected by a man hidden behind layers of pseudonyms. In July 2020, in the same section of appliances for sale by owner, a strange listing appeared on the New Orleans Craigslist. It was titled,
"The Wren Mangles the Algorithm."
The enigmatic listing quickly captured the attention of the New Orleans subreddit. Users, drawn in by its mysterious nature, dove into discussions about the possible meanings and origins of the post. The intrigue surrounding the listing grew, eclipsing the earlier post from 2018, and soon it was cross-posted to the Reddit Bureau of Investigation. Some quickly identified the image as a retouched photograph of young Keanu Reeves. Speculation arose about potential steganography within the image, with some claiming to have found a partial QR code. However, it's likely that this was an illusion caused by pixelated artifacts from the alteration of the image. A more in-depth steganographic analysis did not reveal any obvious anomalies. However, the mystery deepened with the discovery of the Rex Todd Twitter account that began by sending direct replies to celebrities in 2020. Many of these initial tweets were sent to Kim Kardashian, and bizarrely, this fascination spilled off-platform beneath an article about Kanye on the website Head Topics. The comment section was filled with messages from someone referring to themselves as Kim Kardashian. One of the comments read,
"Its Orthodox emulator rots past the console,"
with the same hashtag and phone number. A Reddit user had diligently compiled all Rex Todd tweets from 2020, and this phrase had been previously tweeted, suggesting that this commenter may have been Rex Todd. The anatomy of the tweets is unvarying, each following the same format. They include a cryptic aphorism, followed by a line of 15 zeros, the hashtag PrayForDave, and the phone number. Many of the tweets captured on Reddit in 2020 had been scrubbed from the Rex Todd Twitter account, and those deleted contained sentences found in an array that supplied a random sentence generator. The surviving tweets don't seem to have a correlation to any obvious public arrays, implying that they could be drawn from or composed by an original source. And the deletion of the 2020 tweets suggests the account is being curated or manicured, that perhaps having content easily traced to a random sentence generator was dilutive to the intentions of the creator. However, one sentence remains that connects the Rex Todd account, Reddit comment, and the random sentence generator.
"On top of the ballot matures every home."
This phrase was tweeted to the Rod Ryan radio show, a morning DJ from Houston who formerly broadcasted in New Orleans from 1996 to 2004. This does little to clarify the message or meaning of these tweets, but it does give direction. If the tweets compiled in the Reddit comment were deleted, perhaps others have been deleted, and perhaps they might provide some hint to the purpose of this account. On December 23rd, 2022, Rex Todd tweeted,
"Colorless green ideas sleep furiously."
This is an important phrase, but to understand why requires some knowledge of linguistics. Syntactic Structures was a book published by Noam Chomsky in 1957. It was pivotal for linguists as it tried to formulate a recursive system to conceptualize grammatical rules. It was a groundbreaking work that disrupted the field of linguistic study. In this book, Chomsky wrote the sentence, "Colorless green ideas sleep furiously," to prove that meaning and syntax are separate from one another. The sentence itself is grammatically and syntactically correct, yet it is entirely absent of true meaning. If we examine the Rex Todd tweets, they appear to follow the same formula. They are grammatically and syntactically correct sentences, yet they are completely senseless. Could tweeting this sentence from Chomsky be a communication to the reader that the cryptic aphorisms from Rex Todd are meant to be devoid of meaning? Was this tweet later scrubbed for the same reason as the others? It was too obvious of a connection, too direct of an answer. Was it removed because it was giving the game away? Further analysis of the Rex Todd tweets for linguistic, thematic, acrostic, or anagrammatic patterns seem to support this theory. The tweets appear to be designed as intentionally meaningless, and they could be bot posts drawing from some hidden array. The 15 zeros included below the cryptic phrase likely serve as a border between the dynamic and static content. The first lines change with each post, but the remaining hashtag and phone number are unchanging. The included phone number contains an area code that correlates with New Orleans, the third time that this location has been mentioned. A carrier lookup indicates that this is a Google Voice number. Luckily, the 2017 Reddit post on the New Orleans subreddit was cross-posted to the Codes subreddit. A user called the number, recorded the message, and shared it via a Dropbox link that's still active to this day. The following is the audio that was recorded from 2017. The rudimentary text-to-speech voice is difficult to decipher, but the audio message is a replica of the cryptic aphorism included on the initial Craigslist post. More bizarrely, the automated response has changed since 2017. Currently, the number reaches a higher fidelity robotic voice of the opposite sex. It does not repeat the most current tweet from Rex Todd, but instead it dictates the following message.
Silly, you must step up your efforts if we are to reach our goal on time. Research indicates lack of water, electricity, have no effect on morale. Headquarters suggests targeting liquor supply. They are an apathetic people, Vasily, but believe in your training. You will break them.
The content of this message is almost as inscrutable as the tweets from the Rex Todd account. Some context clues, like the words headquarters, morale, and training, imply a militaristic setting, and Vasily is referred to twice. The most famous military figure named Vasily is Vasily Zaitsev, a Russian sniper who was notorious for over 200 confirmed kills during the Battle of Stalingrad. The implication of this message is not clear. The multiple text-to-speech voices, Google Voice number, and potential bot posting on Twitter suggests a technically savvy account owner. However, this new answering message contains background noise, what might be a TV or movie playing, which suggests that it was recorded analog. This low-fidelity approach does not match with expectations of a technophile. The background noise has been isolated, however, it is difficult to decipher, and even after isolation, it only leads to more questions. Callers of the Rex Todd number will receive a randomly timed text message the following day that simply reads,
#PrayForDave.
The Rex Todd account isn't only on Twitter. The mystery carries over to YouTube, where over 100 videos can be found. The About section of the channel is just as cryptic as the content from the Twitter page. It reads,
An atmosphere waffles underneath the stroke. Dave challenges a variant underneath whatever protocol. The body fiddles the galaxy. The complex matter functions as the well. Opposite a mechanic, military explodes Dave. Dave escapes above the age. Does an accusing mount pass the bush chain? The fiddle points to its T in the unclear faith. Dave solves a flower around a horrid stagger. A raid enters inside Dave. The course executive intimates Dave. The countryside composes around an intellect. The grammar routes its preface. A pole coppers an idealistic spirit underneath the baffle. Dave moves the breach. Should the visual indicator listen inside a transformation? Why does an elevator punt near a renewed referendum? A comparable penny noses within the community chorus.
The catalog of videos varies slightly in its format and content. All of the videos have the same thumbnail of young Keanu Reeves, and most of the runtime displays this same photograph. However, there are exceptions, like when an early video cut to black, then inexplicably interspliced one frame of young Ryan Reynolds. The accompanying audio is often Morse code, translating to the corresponding Twitter posts, including the aphorism, 15 zeros, hashtag, and the phone number. Other times, the incorporated audio sounds as if it may be a voicemail left for the New Orleans Google Voice number. The only remaining element left to explore is the hashtag, PrayForDave. In 2022, it was attached to the public concern for Dave Grohl. However, its usage by the Rex Todd account predates this event. An exact search of the phrase returns a link to a SoundCloud page for the band We Are Not Musicians. They released a song #PrayForDave on November 19th, 2021, over a year after the Rex Todd account began posting on Twitter. The copyright was registered to Sasquatch Fever. The Bandcamp page for the same band indicates that they are located in New Orleans, and their sound is described as improvisational noise punk. In the margins of the site, a member list is included. Fitch, Our Little Brother, Kitty Tank, and Feck Speiderbeck, a roster worth exploring. Fitch is a stage persona disguised beneath the prosthetic mask of an elderly man. It's unclear, but likely, that one of the other members hides beneath the mask. Fitch is a solo musician and also the frontman for a band called Crap Stacks, which will be explored later. Fitch has a solo YouTube page, largely centered on noise and punk, affecting a certain rawness. Unsettlingly, the About section of the channel reads,
I am Fitch. I am a musician, philanthropist, and convicted murderer.
And the email for this account is listed as sasquatchfeverandsons@gmail.com, likely the same copyright holder from the SoundCloud page. The strange confession of murder in the About section can only be corroborated externally by one website, named Aurelio News Network. The article describes how Fitch murdered a concert goer, then escaped the legal system through a mistrial, receiving no punishment. The remainder of the article is a track-by-track review of Fitch's most recently released album, produced with his band Crap Stacks. It describes his music career and affiliation with Sound-Ass Records. This legal outcome is obviously unlikely, and it's even more unlikely that this story would not be picked up by one or more major newspaper in the New Orleans area. Examining the site for additional information, a disclaimer can be found at the bottom of the page.
If you would like to contact any of our staffers, please click the authors section at the top of the page. The contents of this site are satire and intended for entertainment purposes only.
If the disclaimer is followed to the author page, the contributors and their descriptions become increasingly bizarre, confirming the boilerplate warning about the site being satire. The About section of the website provides little additional information, except mention again of the August Entertainment Initiative and funding from the Dresky Corporation. In all likelihood, this website was created to build buzz via salacious lore about the murder of a fictional concertgoer. It doesn't explain why the fake site would still be posting news articles after the release of his album, and it doesn't explain the Dresky Corporation. Soundass records, mentioned within the article, can be found on Bandcamp and YouTube, another collective of experimental musicians, only they have a defunct website that has luckily been archived. The Soundass website describes the musicians as global innovators who strengthen networking, leadership, and relationship building. The corporate lingo is drenched in satire. Multiple tabs on the front page include strange messaging like "We're everywhere." More bizarrely, one of the tabs is labeled Dresky, previously mentioned on the Aurelio News website. The tab describes recruitment to Dresky International, and visitors are instructed to enter their Dresky International recruiter identification number. The web developer is listed at the bottom of the page, a contact we will have to save for later in this video. The videos on the Soundass YouTube page are ironically titled and described, and many of the people in the videos can be matched with those on the cover of the We Are Not Musicians albums, leading us back to the original members. Kitty Tank and Our Little Brother are two other members, only they have minimal online footprints. However, the fourth member, Feck Speiderbeck, leads down an even deeper rabbit hole. Feck Speiderbeck is most well known for Glabber, a novel of experimental fiction, a stream of consciousness narrative that quickly adopts and abandons metaphor and memory. The novel shares stylistic and tonal similarities with Rex Todd. Both are absurdist, abstract, and surreal, often sacrificing clarity of meaning for stylized expression. The novel connects to several aspects we have already discussed. It is published by Sasquatch Fever, the same publisher of the album by We Are Not Musicians. The front matter image on page 3 is an impressionistic print of an album cover by Crapstacks. The Amazon reviews for the book are initially disorienting and inscrutable, filled with mentions of the Old Baker moment and monk runs. Two terms mentioned in the prologue of the novel, two terms that were connected with an even earlier mystery. In 2021, a post appeared on the New Orleans subreddit from the user Mind of Minutia. The account is listed with the name Feck, and it is originally credited with the following post, titled Old Baker Moment in NOLA.
Been living here my whole life, but never understood everyone's fascination with the Old Baker moment in the city. I understand people create a different direction or two in their minds, but it feels too calculated to be natural. Just like the monk runs under the city off West End, or at least that's one spot to get to it, just seems super unnatural. You can't navigate it with no understanding of the current culture in NOLA. People are always saying stuff about it, but no one wants to draw the correlation between the two, so I'll make it clear. You can't navigate the monk runs without understanding the Old Baker moment. And I'm stuck because I don't get it at all.
The post garnered attention, with many asking what was meant by the Old Baker moment in monk runs. While nothing correlates with the Old Baker moment, monk runs could be connected to a New Orleans fundraiser conducted by St. Joseph Abbey, where monks run distances to generate money for charity. However, the context here voids this meaning. These terms were repeated on other posts as Dadaistic memes, regurgitated phrases intended to mean nothing. The user Mind of Minutia returned in the replies.
Too many misunderstandings in this thread. No one satisfyingly addressing the Old Baker moment and its relationship with the monk runs. Will do it all myself.
A few weeks later, Glabber was published on Amazon, and Feck shared the novel on the subreddit to those waiting for answers. While the intended purpose of the manuscript was meant to explain these terms, it did little more than use them as springboards to launch into a mostly nonsensical and thematic exploration of ideas about meaning and lostness. In short, Feck Speiderbeck seems to have previously engineered a mimetic marketing campaign to sell book copies. It seems to imply that Speiderbeck would be capable of the PrayForDave campaign. However, there remains more to explore. Returning to Bandcamp, Feck Speiderbeck can be found with his own individual page. However, his real name is listed instead of the pseudonym. Eric Arneville is listed as the owner for Sasquatch Fever and Sons, the copyright holder for many of the works already discussed. Arneville has an extensive online presence, including a listing on IMDb for multiple credits on a movie titled Minutia, which explains the Reddit account that was used to instigate the Old Baker moment. The movie itself is a student film that sounds as though the plot is similar to Glabber, surreal and absurd. It's worth noting that Arneville's movie and multiple albums have been shared across multiple subreddits by Gary the Commander, likely a new shell account. Unsurprisingly, many of these posts contain replies from Rex Todd. Arneville has been interviewed by several smaller publications, including Offbeat magazine. In 2019, the interviewer described Arneville as an English undergraduate student with an extensive discography. During the course of discussion, Arneville reveals that the origin of the name Feck comes from the 1986 movie River's Edge. In one of his responses to the interviewer, he spoke of his creative process.
Sometimes it doesn't come out quickly, and I'm in a living hell until it's finished. Even worse, sometimes I'll finish the project and release it, and immediately have the urge to start something else. And this continuous need to complete my projects becomes a deranged cycle. And if something's just not working, it's hard for me to let it go.
If Arneville is responsible for PrayForDave, his inability to abandon projects that aren't working may explain the years of Rex Todd posting on multiple platforms to such a small audience. The interviewer revels in Arneville's mastering skills.
Musicians may know that mastering is usually the second step after mixing an album, with a vision of album progression. Feck does it flawlessly.
Arneville has multiple mastering credits, including for the Crapstacks album CCFCOK. This connection is a thread that ties into a much larger tapestry. Multiple Crapstacks performances have been corroborated by concert flyers on social media sites for venues in New Orleans. One uncorroborated source shared a flyer for a show played by Crapstacks, Patrick Star Crucified, and KFC Murder Chicks, a name connected to an even more unsettling mystery. In 2015, a 20-something Anon posted on the X board of 4chan about a temporary job where he was tasked with packing up boxes for a software company. He worked alongside a homeless band girl, and the two uncovered a box labeled Erratas. A supervisor told them that employees who previously searched this word had been fired or flagged. Less than a month later, another anonymous user re-engaged the conversation about Erratas.
Did anyone here have any software IT jobs on the East Coast between 2000 and 2010 or so? I ask because a few people I know from that time and area have talked about some sort of sketchy HR-related program called Erratas, and I'm wondering if I can find any information about it. Not strictly paranormal related, but disturbing, and I believe I saw someone on X mention it before. So if that anon is here, please post.
On January 25th, 2016, a user posted on the MU board with an idea to create a new genre of music called Deep Internet, which would produce songs by snipping audio from obscure YouTube videos. Several exemplar videos were listed, including one titled "YouTube is Monitoring and Controlling My Life." The video was posted on the channel Chronos for Life Jurassic Park. The video appears to be the introductory scene of The Lost World, only it contains superimposed text. It begins,
I strongly believe that my mom was being monitored and harassed by YouTube, Universal Pictures, and their affiliates due to a secret of sorts she had uncovered within the original trilogy of Jurassic Park.
The cryptic video drove 4chan users to explore the channel's backlog, uncovering creepy and disorienting messages. All of the videos were set in 144p resolution, a disorienting, low-quality pixelation likely meant to obscure the automated monitoring conducted by YouTube. A video titled Jurassic Park 3 Tribute Reupload contained Morse code hidden at the end of the video, which translated to Hollywood Astral Projection Clinic. Another video titled Here Goes Nothing contained automatically generated subtitles with strange messages, including the words 200 Corbin, Kentucky, 40219. This address originally linked to a band known as the KFC Murder Chicks. The band was described as electronic noise punk, an experimental blend of genres, and their albums were produced by DJ Roswell. The members were described as homeless, one of whom worked in a warehouse, which sounded oddly similar to the original 4chan post. Users continued to investigate the band, and they uncovered the name Todd Ellsworth on their website. They quickly found a YouTube channel of the same name. Todd had previously posted a video of a KFC Murder Chicks song with a phrase in the description, Erratas or Rusts. However, this description has since been changed. Ellsworth also had his own Twitter account, which had only posted 3 tweets. Unsettlingly, the first tweet was a computer-generated police sketch of the unidentified Maui serial rapist. This sketch would become the face of Erratas. Not only was Todd Ellsworth mentioned in the KFC Murder Chicks song Get Shit Straight, his name is an anagram for The Lost World from the first Chronos for Life Jurassic Park video. The lore around the term continued on 4chan, as users claimed their posts and threads were being removed if they contained the word Erratas, and YouTubers claimed their videos on the subject were being deleted. The Erratas enigma remains unsolved today, yet many contend that it was a complex alternate reality game, or ARG, masterminded by producer DJ Roswell. It was intended to be a guerrilla marketing tactic for the KFC Murder Chicks. Their most recent album had surfaced just 4 days before the initial 4chan post that sparked the mystery. Furthermore, the Todd Ellsworth YouTube channel has since been altered. The Erratist or Rusts phrase has been replaced with links promoting DJ Roswell's products and merchandise. The blueprint of the Erratas marketing campaign is clear. An ambitious, yet undiscovered musician posted cryptic messages across multiple platforms, depending on mystery to catalyze a viral campaign that would drive community awareness and engagement, ultimately steering those involved to the product being marketed. In the case of Erratas, all roads lead back to the KFC murder chicks. And so we return to the flyer. The group, Patrick Star Crucified, has zero online footprint, which could imply the flyer is a fabrication, a nod to the inspiration. But whether or not the flyer is fictional doesn't matter. The connection between their campaigns is clear. The PrayForDave mystery began with a cryptic post on the New Orleans Craigslist. It led to the Twitter and YouTube accounts of Rex Todd. The hashtag was connected to the band We Are Not Musicians and the component artists Fitch and Feck Speiderbeck. The latter had previously engineered a viral marketing campaign around the Old Baker moment to sell a self-published novel titled Glabber. Through the band Crapstacks, the two have a potential connection to the KFC murder chicks and the mystery of Erratas, a likely ARG that was designed to drive traffic and promote music. PrayForDave appears to have followed this same blueprint. The previously mentioned archive of the SoundAss website included an email for the former web developer, an address that was still active. Through correspondence, he revealed the following.
The site's been down for a little while because the domain is expired and is ridiculously expensive to renew. It was done for a friend's band. The Dresky form was potentially planned to lead into an ARG of sorts, but as of now, does nothing. It doesn't matter what you enter. It will return the error message, which is actually just the form submitted successfully message, altered. This is extremely odd because I don't remember giving anyone admin access, and no, nobody in our group has the know-how, but that Dresky form does actually seem to be linked to some custom JavaScript now, and possibly has been for quite some time. I can't tell what it does, but it does seem to actually be performing some sort of validation on the ID now. I'm scratching my head here because as far as I've been told, Dresky is fictional, and now someone has gone in under my nose and added JavaScript to validate an ID related to it. I have a form on my own site, and I have no idea what it does.
The Aurelio News Network, the SoundAss website, and the Dresky Corporation were all confirmed to be ostentatious fictions committed under Arnaville's direction. These emails are inconsistent and self-conflicting. Why would a defunct website receive development updates? Bizarrely, the developer refused to share this mysterious new code, claiming it was against best practices. However, why would strange new code be injected into a defunct website? It's likely that the secret JavaScript code, the mysterious new developer, all of them are new fictions invented to walk back the initial admission. PrayForDave is a failed ARG. The mystery itself is incomplete. The narrative here has no real progression or resolution. It's just the same Twitter account, posting inaccessible and unevolving messages. We have likely been armed with questions that have no answers. These failures in design compel us to return over and over, hoping to find some new clue or mystery where there are none. The failures of PrayForDave are its greatest successes.